start working with a buyer, one of the first things that we do is we schedule a buyer strategy session. And in this session, I ask them, are you planning to pay with cash or do you need financing? And sometimes people get a little bit annoyed because people don't like to talk about finances. I totally get it. I also don't like to share my financial situation with people. So I understand that's a private thing that you want to keep for yourself. However, when you're buying real estate in our area, it's very different than in other parts of the United States and in the world. And there are some properties that are just not eligible for traditional financing. There are some single family homes that may be in a certain condition where the insurance does not allow you to get insurance and then you cannot get financing. There are some condominium buildings that just do not meet the test of traditional financing. And there's just a lot that you need to know if you are planning to pay with financing. So today I'm going to talk to you about what you need to know about the difference of paying cash versus financing. And I'm going to get started now. Hey there, my name's Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami-Dade and Broward counties. I work with my husband, Ognjen Prezzi, and our team. Today, I'm going to talk to you about what you need to know about the difference of paying cash versus financing. But first, before I get started, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another update. We do put out new videos every week. Also, use the link in our information box and download our free relocation guide. That guide page is about 40 pages plus a little bit. I keep adding to it, I know. But I think you'll find it super helpful. Also, if you need help from another agent outside of this area, please let me know because I do have a network of agents all across the United States. Okay, let's get started. The reason why it's really important to determine how you're planning to purchase this property, whether it's cash or it's financing, is if you are planning to obtain financing, you really want to speak with a local lender or a lender who does a lot of transactions in our area. I find sometimes that when buyers work with a larger bank who doesn't do a lot of deals here or just someone who's not super familiar with the area, they end up underestimating the cost of insurance and taxes. And that can be a big shocker when you go under contract on a property and find out that just speaking for that general area, the insurance is double or triple what they had estimated it to be. And of course, then your loan payment, your monthly payment every single month is going to go up. And also your closing costs will go up because a lot of those fees have to be paid in advance for 1 year when you actually close on the property. So make sure that if you really do need financing, that you speak with someone in advance so that they can give you a very realistic idea about how much it costs in order to obtain financing to close, how much it will cost every single month, and just allow you to properly prepare. Next, this can be a little bit complicated to understand on a video that I'm doing for you, so we can talk about this in more detail at a buyer strategy session. But if you are planning to get financing, we really need to know what type of loan product are you getting and how much money you're planning to put down. Are you trying to get a conventional loan with only so much money down? Are you seeking a VA loan or an FHA loan? Because those loans and how much money you're putting down will require you to obtain a very specific property type. For example, if you are trying to buy in a condominium building, is that condominium building, not you, is the condominium building eligible for traditional financing? Because unfortunately, not all buildings are. Is the building VA approved or FHA approved? Like, will they allow you to get financing in that building? If you're interested in buying a single family home, is that single family home eligible for insurance? Because you will need to bind an insurance policy in order to get the loan approval in order to close. So there's a lot of details that go into financing, and that's why we always like to have that piece set and known in advance so we can properly help guide you. So we're not really trying to be nosy to figure out your finances. We just need to know if you're paying cash, okay, fine, that's a different story. But if you're getting financing, we just need to know what type of financing you're planning to apply for so that we can help best match you with the properties that would be eligible for that type of financing. It's very detailed. It's not just, super simple the way I'm explaining it now. It's a very tedious process with financing here, especially with condominiums or townhomes that are in condominium associations. and then of course properties and their condition. So we just want to save you time and make sure we spend time looking on the properties that you can actually possibly get financing on. If you're paying cash, a lot of these issues are just out the window, mainly because you're going to be vetting the building and you're going to be paying cash. There's not going to be an underwriter at the bank doing a whole process of actually underwriting the building too. Now, if you are paying cash or you are doing financing, still you'll want to do your own due diligence in terms of vetting that property on your own. If you're buying maybe in an HOA or a condominium association, get all the condo docs, talk to the association or HOA docs, and make sure that you're doing your own due diligence, regardless if you're paying cash or financing. The other thing is, if you are paying cash, usually sellers like that. Cash is king. There are usually a lot less kind of loopholes to go through in their perception. So cash is always king. But a lot of people here, they do pay cash. So it's not like if you make an offer and you're paying cash, you could be the only offer paying cash. There's a lot of people here who do pay cash. Typically, we don't see huge, big, deep discounts for cash. It's not really in that way. It's just more of an incentive, and the financing, those things just don't exist with a cash purchase. One thing I do want to talk about, though, is if you are planning to pay cash, but then down the road seek financing, you definitely want to make sure you do some due diligence on the building and see if other people are getting financing in the building. Because if they're not, you also may not be able to get financing after you close, if that's important to you. If you're paying cash, you don't really care, that's fine. But maybe you're paying cash right now just to kind of get a leg up on the competition. You have the money, you can do it, and you're like, I'll just wait till rates go down or whatever, and I'll finance later. If that's really, really important to you and you're really depending on that, you also need to do a bit of due diligence on the building and make sure that other people are actually closing in there with financing, because that would just be horrible if you really needed the financing and you needed to be able to pull the cash out later, and then you can't because the building is not eligible for financing. So just something to think about. The other thing with a cash purchase versus a financing purchase is if there is something wrong with the property and it makes it ineligible for insurance, essentially you don't really need insurance to close on a cash transaction. So you could go ahead and close, fix that issue after closing, and then get insurance. So that's definitely something that could be helpful if the property has an issue with insurance right now. Just always keep that in mind. You could just pay cash, fix the issue, and then get insurance after closing. And last, but certainly not least, it is definitely a lot cheaper to purchase a property with cash than financing, mainly because with financing, especially with single family home purchases, you have to pay the bulk of the insurance a year in advance. And then they'll also want you to set up some escrows to hold some of those insurance fees in advance for them as well. So if you pay cash, you don't really have to do that, because how you choose to purchase the insurance is on your own. You're not at the will of whatever the bank says that you need to do and whatever escrow accounts they want you to set up. With cash, you can do that however you choose to do it. I hope that this has helped answer some questions for you about cash versus financing, and why we always ask this question at a buyer strategy session. Sometimes people get a little bit annoyed because they think I'm digging, but I'm not really. I'm just trying to help guide you so that you know what to expect, and so that we spend time looking at the properties that you can actually buy. My name's Jamey Prezzi. This is my husband, Ognjen Prezzi. Don't forget to download our free relocation guide, and we will see you soon.